What do you think is the time required by the employer to review your resume? Can you guess? The correct answer is 30 to 45 seconds. Congrats if you have got it right. Otherwise, don't worry. Anyway, this is not a job interview. Nowadays, an employer receives thousands of resumes every hour. A recruiter may only scan your resume instead of reading it. Remember, your resume will not get you a job, it will only get you an interview. If you have to be called for an interview, then make your resume look very impressive. Hello, this is Palu here from SP Tech Bangalore. Welcome to my video series Unnati. If you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Now let me walk you through 7 steps for building an impressive resume. So why wait? Let's get started. Step 1. Add contact information on the top of your resume. Your contact information includes your name, your address, contact number and email ID. But a word of caution, please ensure to mention a professional email ID. If by any chance you are using an email ID something like godisgreat@gmail.com is okay. Keep it for your personal use, but it's not good to be mentioned in your resume. Use a professional email ID instead. If you don't have one, create it. Now you are done with step 1 of your resume. Let's move on. Step 2. Write a good career objective statement. Now take some time to think before you finalize this. Your career objective should match up with the job you are applying for. Always remember, a well-written career objective is a great way to impress your employer. Let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say you are applying for an English teacher job. So what could be a good objective? To obtain a teaching position at your school as an English teacher, to share my knowledge of this discipline and enlighten young minds to achieve advanced proficiency in this language. Let me give you another example. Let's say you are applying for a software engineer position. What could be the best objective? Self-motivated, highly passionate and hard-working fresher looking for an opportunity to work in a challenging organization, to utilize my skills and knowledge to work for the growth of the organization. Observe the usage of words self-motivated, passionate and hardworking. Adding these words will certainly create a positive impression about you. These are just some examples. Always remember to make changes in your objective to suit the job you are applying for. Step 3. Write about your education. Create a tabular format mentioning all your education details. Have a look at this table. Many of you tend to make this mistake of not summarizing your qualification in chronological order. The problem here is that your highest qualification is at the bottom of the table. Now this is dangerous, as the person who is reading your resume may not notice the last row of the table which has your highest qualification. You certainly do not want this to happen, right? So how do you avoid it? Mention the details in the chronological order, which means latest or the most recent degree of yours should be on the top of the table and then continue working downwards. Doing in this way, you can be assured that the reader will not miss to notice your highest qualification. Hope this makes sense. Step 4. Try to summarize your achievements. Okay, hang on, wait a moment. Add achievements if and only if you think that it can really add value to the job you are applying for. Again, there is a thumb rule which says you have to summarize your achievements in the chronological order, which means the most recent achievements should appear first. For God's sake, if you feel that there is nothing worthwhile to be mentioned as achievements, don't create this section at all. Never ever create a section titled achievement and keep it blank. This is very, very unprofessional. Step 5. Add software proficiency. Summarize your computer proficiency in a tabular form under various headings. This is just an example. You can add and delete rows depending upon what skills you own. Step 6. Give details about your final semester project work. Summarize the project work you did in bulleted points, which could include brief project details, your role, team size, and technology used. Step 7. Now it's time to list down your hobbies. Please do it if they are professionally relevant. For example, if writing a blog is your hobby, listing it can come handy when you are applying for an editorial job. If drawing or pencil sketching is your hobby, you can certainly list it if you are applying for the position of a graphic designer. Merely mentioning reading, playing, and listening to music as hobbies may sound very unprofessional. It's better to skip these rather than to mention it in your resume. Once you have mentioned your hobbies, it's time to conclude your resume by adding your name at the bottom right corner. Remember, resume is nothing but a marketing tool which helps you in getting an interview call. An employer will evaluate the kind of a person you are by scanning your resume, which means if your resume is neat, it will indicate that you are a neat person. If your resume is well organized, it indicates that you are a well organized person. If your resume is error-free, it indicates that you are a careful person. And last but not the least, if your resume has a good professional appearance, it indicates that you are a competent person. Hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and click on the notification icon. By doing so, you will be notified on every new video I release under the series Unnati. See you in my next session. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.